guys, welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Scarlett here today, and if you are new, hit the subscribe button down below so you do not miss a future upload. And today's video is going to be one of my favorites from my other mini series, the tag video series I do, but this one is the Ultimate 70s Fangirl Tag. So there is just questions about the 70s artists that I listen to, 70s in general. So without further ado, let's just get right into the tag. So the first question is, what was the first 70s song you fell in love with? And my brain, I'm trying to rack if there was a specific song that made me just fall in love with the 70s specifically. I've always been a person that listened to older songs. At first I was a 60s girly, to be honest, when I was 12 or 13, because I loved Shangri-La's, the Ronettes, the Chiffons, Buddy Holly, you know, the good classics of the 60s or late 50s, however you want to describe it. But the first 70s song that I remember really falling in love with was probably something by the Carpenters, to be honest, because that was the artist that made me fall in love with the 70s, which is crazy to think about it. It's been 10 years that I've been listening to the Carpenters music, which is wild to me because it's been longer than R5 / the Driver era. From my childhood, I've always resonated towards the old stuff, not the new stuff anymore, which is crazy to me. Number 2, which artist got you obsessed with 70s music? So I just basically answered 1 and 2 in the first question. So Carpenters were the reason I became obsessed with the 70s. I don't know if anybody else would have made me feel that way. I don't know if it was just Karen's music, vocals with the music that Richard arranged. I really don't know what got me enthralled. I remember watching the Karen Carpenter story from 1989 in late May of 2016, and I was literally so depressed for that following week because I could not believe that this woman who had the talent of drumming and singing and just the person she was suffered with such an awful illness behind closed doors, and everyone seemed to, I guess, not understand also at the same time without her untimely death there would be no talks about anorexia nervosa or eating disorders in general, which is crazy when you think about it. Anyways, going on to the next question. This is a fun question. What is your favorite song by Andy Gibb? I'm always gonna say Man on Fire. But if we're talking about his actual singles that came out during his lifetime, and Everlasting Love, hands down next to Flowing Rivers. Next question, favorite Bee Gees song? Oh, this changes all the time. I guess I'll stick with the 70s song because I particularly love their 80s and 90s music, which thanks Sam for introducing me that a while ago, because I always talk about ESP, the one album. But for the 70s, I would say Run to Me or My World. For some reason, those are 2 that I always gravitate back towards. They remind me of my high school years, which is so funny to think that when I was in high school in the 2010s, 2018, 2017, that I would be listening to the Bee Gees it was 1977. Anyways, I digress. Next question, favorite ABBA song at the moment. Oh gosh, if we're talking about 70s songs of theirs, Rock Me, So Long, Take a Chance on Me. I can't pick between those 3. Those have been on my music rotation, the 70s songs specifically. Now, as a person that musically grows with their brain and as an adult that can make choices for herself and not be a teenager biased, ABBA's music, I really like their early 80s stuff. I know they broke up by 82, but the 3 albums that they did in the 80s, those are my favorites. Next question, favorite underrated 70s artist? I don't know if they're technically underrated. This one person that comes to mind, but I feel nobody talks about them. Lobo, I Love You to Want Me, Ring or Rings. I can't remember the name. I don't know if it's Ring or Rings. He's really good. I feel nobody talks about him or the music. I don't see people posting about him when you think about the 70s. I don't know if he was more necessarily really popular or if he's a B-side artist, kind of he had his hits, but he wasn't a spotlight person. Another group, or I feel they're underrated or overlooked because of the other family groups at the time, but shout out to the DeFranco family. I feel maybe not so much pop culture, I feel overbrushes them because you had the Osmonds, you had the Carpenters, you had the Boone family too, I think, mixed in there. The Partridge family, look at my air quotes. So the family groups, I feel those ones got more popularity than the DeFrancos, especially after Tony grew up. I feel they biased him or stereotyped him oh yeah, he's grown up now, have nothing to talk about. But he went into real estate, so he definitely became somebody very important. So I feel like those maybe two. There was another one that I was thinking about, but I can't remember. Like I completely like my brain had a brain fart in the middle of filming. So if I remember, I'll put their name on the screen. Number 7, a song that instantly cheers you up. From the 70s, probably. I think of a song that would just like not be Carpenters or ABBA or Andy related. I feel like this is so silly and stupid, and if mom's watches this video, she's gonna be like, "That's so funny." For some reason, the tune of "Knock Three Times" by Tony Orlando and Dawn, that's just like, I don't know, it's just like a happy song. It's just, I mean, the lyrics, when you think about it, from a modern day brain, it's like, okay then. But I feel like that's like a happy song. A song that makes you cry, from the 70s. I'm sure there's a song that I probably listened to that I probably like, okay, I'm crying now. But I feel like everything from the 70s was just like so cheerful. Like there were some songs that were sad, of course, or breakup songs, but like songs that make me cry from the 70s, not really, because I choose to listen to happy songs. Though I could get into depressed moods and find like some like sappy song somewhere. Next question. If you could attend one concert from the 70s, who would it be and why? Could it be like the Carpenters and the Bee Gees all in like a big old like state fair, maybe Andy? Well, ABBA wouldn't come for the state fairs, but like somehow like those three be here, and somehow I could sneak over to an ABBA concert like about 10 miles down the road at like an arena or something. Because I could not choose just one. My whole heart says to see the Carpenters because like ABBA Voyage is around, so I always like use that as a disclaimer in most of my videos in the last couple of years since ABBA Voyage was launched. But like the Carpenters, specifically the Bee Gees and Andy, those three, unless they do something similar and use technology, AI advancements and stuff, that'd be cool. Next question. What album would you save if you could only keep one from your vinyl collection? I'm looking at my collection and I have probably over 50 albums. One album I would save would probably be, and I feel bad because there's probably more that I should save, the Carpenters Japan copy that I got when I was like 16, 17. My dad helped me buy it at a record convention. That is one of the most important things in my collection because it was literally an import from Japan, and who knows how much somebody paid for it, or if somebody was like in the military overseas and then brought it back, and then it ended up in this person's collection and I ended up having it. So I just can't imagine like the sentimental meaning it meant to that somebody else, and then now it's been in my collection for a while. Favorite love song from the 70s. There's a lot of like cheesy ones when you think of it, but I'm just gonna go and say like probably something that everyone will probably think about is How Deep Is Your Love by the Bee Gees. They Long to Be Close to You by the Carpenters. Top of the World by the Carpenters. ABBA, I don't know if they really had any like love songs that were like lead singles here in America. Lay All Your Love on Me, which was like 79, 80, going into the 80s. That one would be pretty good for like smexy kind of sound. Favorite disco song. To be honest, I don't like the term disco because of what it did to the Gibb Brothers in the end. I don't know if I have a favorite disco song. Do you consider like Voulez-Vous or Gimme Gimme a Man After Midnight disco? I guess those would be two choices. Favorite soft rock song? Ooh, oh, you know who I haven't talked about? And I feel like that also could go back to number 6 about underrated 70s artists. England Dan and John or something. I can't remember their name. But they sing I Really Love to See You Tonight. They have some really good songs. And Air Supply. I feel like Air Supply is underrated too because they started like in the mid to late 70s. So probably something from Air Supply maybe from their early days, if it was like 78, 79, maybe 80. Because I feel like 1980 was still like 70s music because if you were recording it back in 79, that was still 70s. I'm analytical like that. Next question. Which song feels like summer to you? To me. Because of the fact that the Carpenters and the Bay City Rollers, shout out to you, the Rollers, were basically my like childhood or my preteen years or my teenage years, early teenage years when I was like 13, 14. I always think about them, those two groups specifically. So anything the Carpenters, like the singles from 69 to 81, the one where Karen and Richard are on the front, it's like sepia toned photo. That album literally any of those songs, any of the singles. All You Get from Love is a love song. Sing, Those Good Old Dreams, I Believe You, We've Been Just Begun, They Long to Be Close to You, Superstar. All of their hits remind me of the summer. Same thing with the Bay City Rollers, but specifically, All of Me Loves All of You, because the summer after Les unfortunately passed away in 2021, I, as an adult brain, grown-up brain, dived into the Rollers discography and literally discovered songs that 13-year-old me would have never discovered, which is really crazy. And the last this last question is about a song. Which song feels like autumn to you / fall? So I would say again, the Carpenters, for almost a whole year in 2016, from May to like May of 2017, low-key, or April of 2017, the Carpenters were all I listened to. So anything probably from the Close album specifically, or the Chan album, or a Kind of Hush album, those three really feel like fall to me. And that is everything in the 70s fangirl tag. If you guys made it this far in this video, thank you guys so much for watching another tag video on my channel. If you guys are enjoying the tags that I do, the tag videos, whether it be about certain artists or like general 70s tags in general, give this video a big thumbs up. It lets me know which kind of content to create. And I will catch you guys in one of my next videos. Hopefully soon. Love you, bye!